Talk Shoe.
Recorded live.
Welcome to the Lost Lowdown Podcast 102 with your hosts, Claude and Justin.
What's up, guys?
We are back, continuing our Season 1 commentary series with episode 120, Do No Harm. So we're handily making our way through Season 1 here. We're almost done.
We are. This is what I would call the home stretch.
This is definitely the home stretch.
I feel like we've hit the plot points that carry us through.
Yeah. This is definitely the beginning of the end.
Yeah. I don't know about that, but
I don't know why you reacted that way. But I remember this being a pretty good episode. It's, it's been so long since I've seen Do No Harm, as with a lot of these season 1 episodes. But it's another big one in the journey of the Losties.
Indeed.
This makes a big impression on all of them that they will soon forget.
Only to remember it in the last episode.
Yes, where all great memories resurface.
I actually have a distinct memory of this episode from when we did our original Season 1 retrospective after Season 2. I remember going into this and thinking, yeah, this episode's awesome! And
and you watched it and realized you were correct.
Well, I didn't watch it in, say it wasn't awesome, but I realized that it's, there's really not a lot of plot development, as I recall. It's, after Deus Ex Machina, which seemingly was a very significant episode in terms of the plot. I mean, at the time we thought that. And then the next one comes, and I really remembered it being, I don't know, I remember there being more plot, but, mostly it's a character episode. Mostly it's about, the consequences of what happened in the previous episode.
Yeah, totally.
So it's not, it's mostly about, Jack's struggles and, and then there's some subplot that happens. But it's not, I don't think we learned anything new in this episode. I don't know, I could be wrong. I guess we're about to watch it.
Well, we'll find out.
But I'm pretty sure, there really isn't. And I just remember being surprised about that because I remembered it being. I think I just remember the fact that the episode had a lot of impact. It's the first time, spoiler alert, one of the characters dies.
Oh my God! Somebody's gonna die.
Yes.
Wow, I hope it's not Boone. That's all I gotta say. I just really hope it's not Boone.
Yeah. Well.
Anyone but Boone.
I don't want to destroy your hopes, but
damn it.
He doesn't seem like the most likely person to die. And I remember at the time, I didn't think it was going to happen because of the whole Charlie thing. I felt I don't know if that was planned, but going through that thing of oh man, he's so dead, and then Jack just powers through, and he's like, no, I can still save him, and then he does. It made me think in this episode when things look hopeless, no, just let Jack do his thing. He'll save him. I know he can do it.
Yeah.
And of course he doesn't.
Well, Jack didn't know that this was a sacrifice the island demanded, regardless of his medical skills.
You mean Jack didn't know some bullshit that Locke says later?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's true.
He didn't get the memo on that bullshit. That'd be so great, right? If Jack's in the middle of trying to save Boone and somebody leans over and goes, "Jack, you this is a sacrifice the island is demanding, right?" And then Jack goes, "Oh, okay, well I can stop now." I mean, that's medical school 101 when island sacrifice, cannot be remedied. So. Every document
exactly.
that.
There's no, what am I going to do?
He thought the problem was, Boone's injuries.
Right.
But that wasn't he was diagnosing the wrong problem.
Exactly. It's like the reverse of when they can't kill themselves. It's no matter what he does, he'll never save him.
Yeah, because the writers won't let him.
Because the writers won't let him. That's the sad truth of it all.
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. It's all like in the caves, and I remember getting it. It's sort of, I guess it plays out like a medical drama.
Oh God, well, you don't have to insult the show that badly. No. Yeah, I think you're right. I mean,
yeah, like that's, whenever I feel like that's the thing that medical dramas thrive on, like this, this life and death situation where, you have the skills that potentially could save someone's life, and, it's this pressure, race against time to, carry out.
Because Dr. McDreamy is still in the picture, but you don't know if you want to go talk to him or not. And is that what you mean?
Pretty much. I mean,
yeah.
That's.
Like all great medical shows, that's the base drama, life and death, and Dr. McDreamy.
There's always a Dr. McDreamy.
There always is.
Doesn't matter what.
Jack is his own Dr. McDreamy in this.
He is. Yeah, I mean, he's the only doctor around for a while, so he has to fill every role.
Well, I do have to say this will be, I believe, the introduction of Julie Bowen as Sarah.
Oh, God, really?
Yes, and I have to say, I really did not like Sarah as a character, and sort of by relation the actress when I first saw Lost. But now I am a huge fan of Julie Bowen from watching Modern Family, where she is pretty phenomenal.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to watch to watch her playing Sarah now that I really like her as an actress. So. Yeah,
I mean, it seems like she was an actress, like, bopping around TV shows.
And they didn't give her. I mean, what she's doing in Modern Family is totally different than what she has to do for Sarah, and I think that's the big difference. Is Sarah doesn't have really anything to do but be a sour pill or whatever. But that's that enticing.
Yeah, she's just a source of misery for Jack for the most part. So.
Well, she is his wife. Ooh.
Oh.
Sorry.
But so part of it is just the writing, but it does seem like she had, some sort of comedic ability that wasn't being exploited at all.
Yeah.
Because the Sarah character has like zero sense of humor.
Don't you love me, Jack? I'm cheating on you.
Among other things she doesn't have.
Yeah.
Like an engaging personality. Sorry, Sarah.
Just Jack's type.
Oh.
No sense of humor. No engaging personality. Sorry, Kate. That's
I know,
what
I was going to say, sorry, Kate and Juliet. It hurts. Yeah, I actually didn't remember that Sarah was introduced in this episode. I actually thought she came in season 2. It's kind of interesting to look back at the sort of arc of the flashbacks because so far Jack's had 2 flashbacks so far besides like the pilot stuff, and they've both been about, Daddy.
They've both been about Daddy.
Like, there's not been a word about his wife yet. In fact, I think at this stage in the show, we don't even know that.
I don't think you know. I think that's part of the reveal, right?
Yeah. I think that's something we learn gradually. It's weird to like go back to a time when you didn't even know he was married, and so far they've set it up that like his only problem was, this conflict with his dad, and living up to his dad plus like betraying his dad and all that stuff.
Yeah, and I think that's another reason why Sarah never, or it's hard to take her in as a character because she comes out of nowhere. It's not like this whole time Jack's been like, I gotta get off of this beach and get back to my, I mean, obviously it's she's not in the picture anymore, so that's why. But but you don't get that sense that it just comes out of left field that it's a reveal,
It does, but like it becomes the focus of Jack's flashbacks for, I would say, for almost the rest of his flashbacks. And they don't really return to the daddy stuff until the flashbacks are mostly over.
Yeah.
You know, and then it's like, no, we should focus on that. I mean, really, like, Christian is just a way better character. So it's just more interesting when he's involved.
Yeah, I mean, they have the whole Sarah arc to get at whatever they're trying to get at about Jack's character.
Yeah, it's supposed to be about him fixing things, I think.
Oh, that's right. He's the fix-it man.
Yeah.
He's here to learn he can't fix everything. Or wait, is that what he learns by the end of season 6?
I know. It's kind of a mixed message, really. Cause
It seems like he learned that he can fix whatever he puts his mind to, which I'm
yeah.
not sure is the point. But
well, if he lets go and accepts that he can't fix things, then he
can
fix
whatever
things.
he wants. There it is. There it is.
I don't know. It's a weird, confusing message, but this is Lost. What do you do? That's just what they give us.
All right. Well, are you ready to jump into Do No Harm?
I am totally ready.
All righty.
As soon as I click play.
Players ready?
Okay.
Queue up and get ready to do no harm with us.
I'll check my sound real quick. Okay. All right, I'm ready.
All righty. Here we go.
Okay.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hatch.
Kind of rhymed. Open the hatch, no handle, no latch.
The Lost song. Boom flew off a cliff that I told him to go up to.
Oh.
I love that whole, like, you know, if we had seen, you know, this whole event from, like, Jack's perspective of Locke coming back with an injured Boone and disappearing, we would be like, oh, man, what did he do? What did he do?
Yeah.
Like, because they make him seem so guilty of some crime, but we kind of know it wasn't, you know, explicitly his fault that way.
Right. Yeah, it's only very indirectly his fault. And I think it wasn't his fault that he couldn't walk anymore. Because I think if he could walk, he would have climbed up himself. Yeah, see, this is a medical drama scene right here.
Yeah.
Rubbing scotch. Ugh. I didn't need to see that. Oh, that's right, this business. This is a Pulp Fiction scene.
Yeah.
God.
To the beach.
It's kind of the train wreck thing. It's hard not to look.
Yeah. Hurry up, this guy's getting married.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be late for his wedding, Jack, if you don't tie that bow tie. This is classic Lost, right? This is just 100% classic Lost writing, is the way that they set up scenes and go, oh, yeah, by the way, it's the opposite of what you think.
Right. And the weird, subtle detail that this is the kid that Jack was defending in his White Rabbit flashback.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
It doesn't really matter, but they like doing that, just putting in those little
They became
connections.
best friends because of that.
Exactly. Even though we never see him again after.
Never, ever, ever. Yeah, can you imagine this guy's version of Lost? You know, his best friend from childhood is lost in an oceanic A-15 and never,
Oh,
you know,
God.
and then resurfaces as one of the Oceanic Six and then disappears again. Like,
and he never returns, but then another plane comes back with some of them and some random other people.
I can't imagine what that guy went through.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. There's a lot of room for fanfic about the sort of the other
totally.
law.
There's so many characters who have their own potential things that they were doing.
Yeah,
off
like
screen.
Really weird experience of what happened.
Mhm.
Because as we've noted, so few characters really know the full story. In fact, probably none of them do.
Like none of them in this scene.
Yeah.
Or the next scene, or the scene after, or the scene after.
True.
Yeah, build that raft, Jin. Build that raft, man. That's gonna get you guys off the island, and you can all go home and live happily ever after. I promise.
Oh man, that's what Flo has heard. I don't know what he's even chopping.
He's like chopping the sand.
That's what it looks like.
Why? Is he just practicing his axe wielding? Like.
Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I'm joking. I hope that's how he's doing.
I know. I just wanted it. Exposition! Just in case you missed it. See, and here's Sawyer being helpful.
Yeah. Here's the stash. He's not even trying to barter.
Not
He's
in the
like,
least.
Just give it to me.
He's like, okay, and he just, gives her a bag full.
This is the LaFleur side of Sawyer.
It is.
This is the budding LaFleur.
Yeah. Yeah, he always had it occasionally. It was just, switching to not going bad.
Yeah. Jack, you're sweating on the patient.
I know. It's kind of gross.
That's sanitary.
Yeah, rubbing salt in the wound is supposed to be bad.
Why? Is there a phrase about that? Is there a saying that encapsulates that idea? All right.
I was like, it sounds like the nurse here.
She's always something. She's a nurse because she can make aloe out of plants.
Mhm.
Man, this English speaking really comes in handy.
Sure does. Wipe that brow, Jack.
Didn't you see the previously on, Charlie? Yeah, he took off.
She's his sister. Yeah, we know.
All right, here we go. Julie Bowen, everyone.
What an intro.
What an intro.
Oh.
Yep. No sense of humor.
Yeah, we said it. They still haven't really showed her yet.
No, they haven't really gotten close.
It's all about Jack.
They're still trying to reveal, what's going on, I think. Holding the suspense. There it is.
Ah! Okay. Of course he did.
Mhm. He must fix everything.
And it's not at all a character flaw.
It's going to lead him to an island one day. I always think it's very strange the way writers, the way shows portray why characters love each other and how they fall in love. And here it's because he fixed her.
Yeah.
I love you because you saved my life.
It's pretty simple, yeah.
And that's a very powerful reason to love someone, but it also seems to be not the best reason.
Well, it's not intrinsically connected to who
to
they
that
are
yeah.
as a person. It's like about what they did.
Yeah, it's like they did their job, and man,
Yeah.
I love that they did their job on me.
Yeah. I mean, the marriage doesn't work, so I mean, maybe
well,
that's...
there you go. Then it's a bad basis for a marriage, they're saying.
Yeah, I think that's at least sort of a subtext. Oh God, I hate scenes like this.
Mhm.
We get these sound effects. The Foley artists who do those sounds, man.
Oh man, and they're probably like, it's like a juice box and like a saran wrap, but they just make the best sounds.
I know. It's like just putting that with the picture of pulling someone's leg and you just cringe. It's awful.
That's what I love about, sort of human perception is like we're fooled by those things. We don't know exactly what it sounds like when that happens.
That's true.
And if you just get something that's kind of gross and close, you can really mimic these sounds and really play around with the soundscape, and we buy it,
Yeah, completely.
It doesn't have to be like accurate, and we go, that's not what it sounds like when you reset a leg.
I know. Like, unless you're actually a doctor and you know what it sounds like.
Exactly.
But like for most people, it's just like, oh, I hear bones, I hear some gross like slurping sound in the background. Like, Ugh. Oh, that's right. Claire.
It's a bad time to have a baby.
It is a really bad time.
So wait, does this mean that Sawyer is about to come from the future pretty soon here?
I'm afraid it does.
Oh man. See, this is what I hate about retcons is like I want to see them pan over to Sawyer watching Kate and help Claire give birth.
Yeah. That's the kind of thing that, like, if they had planned it all along, they could have done. And it would have been so cool, because they would have looked over and it's like, Sawyer's in the bushes? Like, what's going on? And he would have been wearing different clothes than he's wearing in this episode.
Well, and it would have been a 5-season, mystery before they get to how he got there.
Exactly.
And the whole time it would have been like, how come Kate never asked Sawyer, or how come Sawyer never says that he saw that? And it's like, oh, because that wasn't him. That wasn't the same Sawyer.
Exactly. Yeah, it could have been a thing that probably we would have been like,
we would have been so mad about for 5 seasons that they never addressed it, and it would have been like, oh, because it's a different Sawyer.
I would have given up on it. I would have been like, they're not going to answer it. And then when they did, it would be like, wow, they really they got me.
We wouldn't have got the context because that Sawyer is responding not just from the birth scene, but seeing Kate,
again,
the past Kate, so we wouldn't have really got. We'd be like, why is he so in awe of this pregnancy, of this birth scene?
Yeah,
but her fake belly is about to come out.
What do you mean, fake belly?
She's been wearing a pillow under her shirt the whole time, and she didn't realize it. You mean I'm not pregnant?
What's this then?
It's a pillow, Claire. Oh. I was wondering where my pillow went.
Oh God, really?
That seems a little like a racist analogy to tell her about noodles. I don't know. It's just me. Let me put it in terms you can get, son. It's like a noodle.
It reminds me of him calling the stuff that comes out of your Duralsec angel hair pasta.
He puts everything into like pasta terms.
Yeah, that's it.
Or either the human body is just in a big Italian dish.
I think that's the obvious conclusion.
That's what you learn in medical school. Like, these are the meatballs, This is the chicken primavera. That's what your liver is.
That's so gross, and yet strangely plausible.
Your brain's like lasagna. Layers and layers.
Not good. Oh, I didn't remember this. For me.
Wait, that means that she's about to. Wait a minute. How many people are about to get injured in this episode? There's like a lot of dramas. This is going on. Claire's about to have a baby.
Mhm.
She's a bad nurse. This is a medical drama. I mean, that's total medical drama stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Ah!
And she just starts like killing everybody in the room with that. This is my island now, bitches.
That's the horror version. I'd love to see that.
I was getting this because you all make me sick. Uh-oh, someone is.
Oh,
it's not
Jack.
Jack.
He is.
Listen, a doctor stranded on an island trying to save a patient using his own blood. I mean, you really can't get better than that, right?
It's true.
mean, I'm going to transfuse from myself. You know? I mean, the only thing better than that would be him doing a surgery on himself.
Yeah.
And, you know, that'll never happen.
Of course not. That's ridiculous. Yeah. That is very, very unsubtle code for Jack wants to save people and he'll do anything.
Mhm. Oh, she's wearing a 44 in her shirt. I don't know why.
That is not a number.
It's not a number, but it seems like it should be.
Yeah, I agree. Because what does it mean if it's not a number?
It means the costume department screwed up.
It's 44, right?
Why is it just this really prominent 44?
I know. I can't stop staring at it. I don't know
it just
why.
is like a big message, like.
It does.
Or maybe they're saying she's number 44, like she was going to come to the island too.
Oh, there we go. Oh, this is a weird detail that doesn't matter later, but Jack can play the piano.
Oh yeah.
That's his big thing, and then his purgatory son plays it as well.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, totally. He should have bonded with Daniel over that.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think he ever knew Daniel played the piano.
Of course not. Why would they talk about common interests?
It might actually be something they could share together, but
My mom forced me to play piano too.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, Jack's got soul searching to do.
Oh, that's what the piano's for.
Yep. That's what he did. He does it in season 3 too. In the barracks, he sits down at the piano to do some soul searching.
He's got to think.
Yeah. And then I think they forgot that he did that.
Oh, it's really big on the back. What is 44? This is like the biggest message they've ever had on the show. They're telegraphing something very important here. I don't know what it is.
If I were one of those people, I would say it has to mean something.
Yeah, right? The key to everything is that 44.
I don't know what, but uh-oh. You.
What was Jin doing this whole time?
He was chopping the sand.
This looks so weird. He comes into this room and Jack is giving Boone blood and Sun is helping.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what is going on here?
It does look weird, and like no one can explain it to him.
Yeah, you got to have some explaining to do.
I don't want to talk to you, but I have to. He won't even look at her.
Mm-hmm.
It's like putting his head down.
So he's just still upset that she speaks English and didn't tell him?
Yeah.
Is that what he's mad at? Okay.
Yeah, it's hauled over.
Well, I hope this crisis doesn't bring them back together.
I'm sure it won't. They're doomed.
Yeah, exactly. Well, they are, aren't they?
Well, I guess that's true.
Their time will come. Not pull. If she tries to pull, she's doing the wrong thing. Yeah, I remember this being a great dual crisis because Jack has to be in two places at once, and he's got to make the decision where to go. And, any other time, Jack would be there to help deliver the baby. And, as he just says, Kate has to do it.
Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Okay. I accidentally hit something on my phone. Sorry.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. I put you on hold.
I felt like I was holding.
Yeah.
I'm okay, really. This water coming out of me, that's normal.
It just happens sometimes, right?
Yeah.
Oh, man. This is the big moment of Kate-Claire bonding.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, this is the bond that will bring Kate coming back to the island for Claire.
Exactly. And it's the thing that wakes her up in the afterlife.
There it is.
It's weird because, I know it's a big deal at the time. I mean, if you're there when someone has their baby, it creates a bond. I'll buy that. But, they don't have that much to do with each other for, up until she comes back for her.
Well, and, the other thing that really makes her come back is the guilt overtaking Aaron.
That's true. It's about the baby, I guess.
Which ties into this event. But, yeah, this is definitely the first part of their bond.
Yeah. I guess it just, it seemed like most of the memories were about bonds that were forged. I don't know. I guess it counts, but yeah. I just always felt like, I don't know, they didn't. If they were gonna go there, I felt like they should have had more Kate and Claire stuff.
Yeah. You know what would have been crazy is if Claire and Aaron would have went back to the 70s with the rest of them. And somehow, Aaron gets left behind.
Oh, yeah.
And he ends up being like Mikhail or something. He ends up being somebody that we knew from the present. That would have been crazy.
See, that would have justified Aaron as being someone significant to the story.
Yeah.
They didn't want to do that.
Totally. Or if Ethan was actually Aaron.
Oh my god.
Like Claire accidentally leaves
Holy
Aaron.
Shit, that would have been amazing.
Like Claire leaves Aaron back in the 70s when they all go back to the present, and then Horace and Amy raise Aaron as their own.
Oh my god.
And name him Ethan. They find him or whatever,
right.
and they just call him Ethan, and we realize and then he's the one who comes back to his mom to operate on his own selfish side. I mean, that's the show I want to see right there.
Me too, man. They had the opportunity to do stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's but the problem with it is it would have taken a little more planning.
That is the problem with them doing good work.
Exactly. I think they thought it was enough to just say, "Oh, here's Ethan."
Yeah. They always thought whatever was just enough, and it never was.
It never was.
Speaking of things that never was, this whole scene.
You're totally meant for each other. I don't care what he says about Nadia.
Listen, because of this scene, they're going to be in the afterlife together. Because of this one picnic. It's the same thing with what's their names? Hurley and
Libby.
And Libby.
Totally.
It's something about beach picnics.
Yeah.
Just makes you soulmates.
Yeah, you're just it doesn't matter who else you ever cared about before that. They're gonna be the one.
The magic of the beach picnic.
Mhm. I mean, beaches are nice, I guess. It's weird because Kate and Ben have a sort of beach picnic later.
Well, they do, don't they?
Yeah.
That was a beach brunch.
You're right, though. It was set up. I guess it wasn't a true picnic.
Now, you got to have blankets for a picnic.
Yeah, it was too civilized for a picnic.
Way too civilized for them.
They had
others in
they had
general.
French press coffee.
You know, Ben made some random red shirt others set all that stuff up.
Oh, of course he did.
And they're
yeah.
like, what are we doing? We're supposed to be following Jacob, and this guy has us setting up a beach brunch, like with the people who aren't even on Jacob's list.
Or are they? We don't even
Or
know.
are they?
Where's the list?
They don't know.
Who's got a list? I don't know.
Why are
what's
we
going
building
on.
a runway? Nobody knows.
Let's go to the temple. What temple? I don't know.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? Like, back to the runway. Like, did we ever figure? Like, why were they building that? Who? What was the genesis of that idea? Did we ever figure that out?
There's no answer. I mean, I think
because
I think the fake answer is Jacob told him to do it because he knew.
Yeah, but when Jacob tells Ben, like, I never cared about you, it's like, hey man, I built that runway that came in handy.
Fucking
like,
name. I know.
No.
Yeah, that's the problem. I think they want it both ways.
Yeah.
They want him in charge of the others and having him do things to prepare for his plan, but at the same time, he doesn't care about the others and he completely ignores them.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It is crazy. That's Lost.
She just snatched that out of his arm. I mean, that's just craziness.
I know. It's like, I'm sorry, son. Did you go to medical school?
You know how dangerous it is to do that? Or just he's really taking control here. He really did.
I think I'm more qualified to know how much blood I should give. Here's a line that tells us that Jack's going too far.
Yeah.
He's at the end of his rope.
Who does he want, Locke?
I think so.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, who did he say? I didn't even.
I don't
catch
know.
it.
I missed it. Yeah.
Me too.
I'm like, he should be wanting to talk to Locke at this point.
He should, but maybe he asked for someone else. I don't know.
Jack in the water with his pants on?
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Is
Didn't
this a
think
ghost?
he'd show up.
Is this Man in Black?
Oh, I wish it were.
Oh,
it would be
man.
so weird.
Yeah, Jack's pants don't look like they're rolled up all the way.
He's always been big on wet clothes.
He does like, you're right. He just likes wet clothes. He's totally fine with his clothes being wet.
It's not something I ever picked up on, but...
Yeah, there it is.
Christian's doing it the sensible way.
Mm-hmm.
Just
I guess
the
he's not as
legs.
drunk. He's not as drunk, so.
Good point.
Yet. That's good acting. Look how heavy his eyes are.
Yeah.
Jack's like, I'm drunk.
Oh. That's cheating, Jack.
He's a thief. This is a bad way to start a marriage, I think. Stealing her stuff.
It really is. I think that's what this scene ends up being about. It's like you shouldn't get married at all.
Yeah, this is all the signs of two people who should not be together.
I love her?
What is love, Dad? What is love?
Yeah, can you tell me what that is? The father?
Uh-oh.
You ain't gonna have no kids, Jack.
You ain't gonna have kids. Not to the afterlife.
Yeah. Let's you count purgatory kids. I think it's weird that Sarah doesn't appear in the afterlife. As seemingly significant as she is.
Yeah. Yeah. She's got her own people she made her afterlife with, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Christian looks like he could, like, bite Jack's face off right now.
I like the swimming pool lights. That's always really effective.
Yeah, totally.
There's something creepy about a lit up swimming pool at night.
See, that's what's weird. I feel like Jack, in that case of Sarah, I feel like he doesn't have a problem with letting go. His problem is that he does want to let go, right? I mean, isn't his problem that once he fixes something, like the problem is like with their marriage, right? Is that he fixed her, and that's all the reason that he was interested in her.
Yeah, exactly.
And now that she's fixed,
there's
now
nothing
that he's
left.
fixed, he wants to move on, not keep her. You
exactly.
know, and I guess that's sort of what Christian is saying to let her go, but I feel like that's the problem is he wants to let her go, but he doesn't feel like he should want to let her go.
Right.
It's a weird thing.
It is.
Jack's just found a way to chop somebody's leg off. It's awesome.
I really thought they were going to do that. I was like, okay, Jack's got a plan. It's going to work.
Yeah.
So far in the series, I have no reason to think that Jack's going to fail.
Just breathe, Claire. Just breathe.
Classic Lost.
Classic.
That's really good medical advice.
She's gonna hold her breath until she turns blue.
I love it.
Very adult response.
Breathe, there'll be no baby.
That's an adult response to having a baby.
Oh no!
I'm gonna give it away. Because you're gonna get it now.
It kind of doesn't matter, but
please say yes.
It's gonna be weird if you say no. The baby doesn't know anything. The baby doesn't know like what it means to be alive.
The baby knows nothing but base instincts. I hope if I'm ever helping somebody give birth, it's on TV, because it's a lot easier.
Oh, yeah, man. There's no umbilical cord. It's way less messy.
The baby's cleaner. Yeah,
it takes less time. It's just...
Boom. Yeah, there's no placenta discharge.
Yeah. Oh, God, the placenta. Oh, man.
Don't forget about the placenta.
Ooh, I like to forget about it. I wish you'd let me forget about it.
I won't ever let you.
Oh, my God.
I will keep reminding you.
It's just this fleshy mass of organic matter. It just, man. It just seems like something from a, sci-fi, movie, Alien Race or something.
Yeah, well, it's like the Trill on Deep Space Nine. It's like symbiont. It's like this, it's like a one level of intelligence from being, a sentient life form.
Exactly. Exactly. Oh, God.
That's called your circulatory system when you're bleeding inside.
See, this is it. Sun, oh, God, and then he gets black slime. So,
did he say, don't tell me what I can't do?
Yeah.
That's when you know you're on the wrong track. When you're quoting Locke, you know you're on the wrong track.
He's guaranteed to fail now.
Guaranteed.
It's weird because, Kate's doing exactly what, Sun is doing exactly what Kate did in the scene with Charlie.
Yeah.
You can't do it. It's too late. He's bleeding inside. You can't save him. And I'm like, no, Sun, you're wrong. You don't know.
You don't know nothing.
Jack knows. Jack's the man. He's going to save him.
Yeah.
He's going to chop off this leg and everything's going to be fine.
I can't believe Locke is gone. Locke is just boom, out of here.
Yeah. I guess he's still wailing on the hatch.
I guess. That's all he has. He's like, Boone's almost dying. I'm just going to go try to beat up the hatch.
Mm-hmm.
What does Sun want him to do? I'm confused.
Sun wants him to stop trying to save him.
And just let him die?
Just let him die, yeah.
Oh, wow. Sun's kind of heartless.
Sun thinks it's hopeless.
Sun
but
sounds like
I have
Christian.
to say, just from a rational point of view, I know Jack's a little bit, not really in his right mind here, but I'd have to take his professional opinion over Sun.
I think when you're in the situation here where you can either try, this guy is going to die if you do nothing.
Yeah.
I think you can make an argument to try to do something if he's going to die either way.
Exactly.
Now, if it was a case where he could live, maybe, but if Jack does this, he might kill him. I think that's when it's a little more risky, but
yeah.
I think if I was Boone, I'd want Jack to at least try to save me.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it seems like that's not how they're portraying it. It's more like if Jack doesn't do anything, he's going to die.
Yeah. Is it just me, or do I feel like Jack's best man is in love with Sarah? I just get the feeling like he just hopes this doesn't work out for Jack and Sarah.
Are they getting married in Hawaii?
Nah.
Okay.
It'd be too hard to shoot in Hawaii.
I just realized, like, this is like a Hawaiian beach. I don't know.
I wonder why they chose that.
Like, I don't know if they told us that's where they are. I guess Christian said he was on a plane, so maybe that's where they are. Because if they are, that's kind of a weird, subtle thing that he could be also visiting Claire while he's there. Oh, wait, she's not in Hawaii? Oh, my God.
Yeah, I'm like, why are you... I was going to say Hawaii. Hawaii is not Australia. They're both in islands, but, they're not the same.
Well, they shoot Australia and Hawaii, but, yeah, she's not there. All right, never mind. Sorry, guys. They're definitely not in Australia.
Yeah. I mean, this could be an LA, Southern California beach.
It could easily be.
In terms of what they want us to think.
Yeah.
Always is a long time, Jack.
Yeah, it's a really long time.
Christian's like, what is it with this actor? God, they just cut to him, and I'm like, you're brilliant. You're not doing anything. You're clapping with a bit of consternation. And
he gives that look, and then he glances to the side. It's great.
Yeah, it's like brilliant acting.
I know.
A look and a glance.
Oh.
Uh-oh. Boone's like, what's going on, dude? What are you about to chop off? I love this because Jack is like, okay, now it's past the point of his medical expertise because he's so out of it. Like, look at him. Like, he doesn't know up from down. So I love that he's at this state by this point. I'm not gonna let you give up. That's something like Christian told him when he was a kid, right?
Yeah.
Like Jack's like, Dad, I don't know about medical school, and Christian's like, Jack, I'm not gonna let you give up.
Yep.
It basically means I'm gonna make you do what you don't want to do.
That's exactly. I think this is all they could do. Like, have Boone to tell Jack.
Yeah, Boone is the last voice of reason because he's the one that can make Jack reflect on what he's doing.
Yeah.
He's the one Jack's trying to save.
No, I got to try to save him. But if Boone himself...
If Kate was here, she probably could have convinced him by now.
Yeah.
Because Kate knows him better than anyone at this point.
That's true.
Or maybe ever.
Probably ever. Tell him what happened. He went to this mysterious plane because Locke had a dream, and then he lost his legs, and they climbed up there. And
this episode is really pretty well done in terms of just the multiple action going on. I mean, they're cutting from one then Shannon and Sayid are having an important moment. It's not an interesting moment yet.
Not particularly, and the drama level is considerably lower. But I think that's why I remembered it as being a really good episode. Like, the drama is really intense.
Yeah.
It's life and death at the same time.
Yeah. Literally life and death.
Yeah.
It's almost like the island has a quota of how many people can be alive and dead on it, and like in order for this baby to be born, somebody has to die.
Yeah, really, it's almost like Boone is a sacrifice the island demanded.
Almost, and that baby is fairly gross. And
that is a gross baby.
Yeah, they grossed it up.
Is that alive?
It looks like a real baby. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Normally, like actor babies are older.
Yeah, that looks like a pretty old baby.
So funky.
Well, he looks like a couple weeks old.
That does not look like later Aaron.
No. That's a pretty newborn baby.
I love it. They did nothing. They're celebrating. Well done, guys. Way to sit there and do nothing.
Men have been doing that at birth from the beginning of time.
So true.
That's
their thing.
That's their thing.
I guess they did it well. I mean, what can I say?
They did something, the man did something 9 months ago, and he's happy now. He's like, look,
That's it.
look what I
My
did.
job was done.
Yep.
Let it go, Jack.
Let it go, man.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Tell her what, Boone? Tell her what?
Tell Shannon. Dot, dot, dot.
I'll see her in the afterlife.
Oh, he doesn't even finish the sentence.
Yeah, that's the best.
It is. See, now if
Shannon.
Miles were around, they could get him to find out what he was going to say.
Boom! Yeah. Yeah, totally.
That was the trick they pulled with Juliet.
Mm-hmm.
But in the end, we'd never know what he was going to say.
I feel like he's gonna come back to life. One more
It really
scare.
It feels that way. His eyes open. You get a musical sting.
He goes, "Tell Shannon." Where was I? Tell Shannon. Oh, look at all these red shirts who don't give a crap.
I know.
About this
Y'all
movie.
don't matter at all. Y'all gonna get flaming arrow killed.
If you're lucky to make it to the flaming
If you're
arrows.
lucky. Yeah, life and death theme.
Let's see, you're dead, and you're dead, and you're dead, and you're dead, and you guys over there that we can't see.
You don't
dead,
matter. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, and I don't know. That's the thing about this early part of the series. Like, it sort of bothers me when they bring red shirts into sentimental moments.
Oh, this is great. they went and had their own little romantic adventure. They have no idea.
'Cause it's morning now.
Yeah, they have no idea what they've missed.
I feel like Ross loves doing this, like giving someone a happy moment just before they have to hear about some tragedy.
Oh yeah, it's the best. It's the best juxtaposition. It's great.
Yeah.
Hey Shannon, are you happy right now? Well, your brother just died.
Yeah.
And that's actually one of my personal worst fears is missing some big event, some big tragic event while I'm off
doing
sleeping or doing something
kind of
completely frivolous and missing something important. That's just that's awful.
It is. And it's easy to happen on a sort of remote island like this where there's not a lot of communication.
Honestly, I don't remember hearing it in this episode, but I feel like nobody said go find Claire. I mean, go find Shannon.
Yeah, you're right. Oh, actually,
nobody was
did we ever find out who Jack told Hurley to go find?
He didn't find whoever, I guess.
Now that you say that, I want to give him credit for saying go find Shannon.
Maybe that's what it was, yeah.
But you're right that they don't actually find her. I mean, they were supposed to be in a remote area.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure there was a line or two about where she was, but it just, and it makes it this way more tragic.
Of course. That's what they want.
Well, R.I.P. Boone, you were the first to go.
It's just amazing how they're really drawing this moment out,
Really, really, really. This is huge.
It's in slow motion. They're doing the music.
A little piano.
They're cutting the dialogue. Yeah, they're playing this big life and death theme. It's a huge thing. And it's funny how the red shirts die and it's almost a comedic moment. Frogert's like, we can't even get fire! Arrow in my chest. It's, I don't know. It just sort of bugs me, the juxtaposition. Because really, Boone was barely more than a red shirt to some of these people.
Yeah, and I think it really speaks to what they, really kind of how they changed what they would do at the end of episodes. I mean, this is one of those kind of episodes where they end with a little it's kind of montagey,
Yeah.
It's really heavy-handed and sentimental. And, later they didn't have a lot of time to do that.
Yeah.
That was kind of a change in the later seasons.
That's true.
Oh shit! But this was great too. This was another classic Lost where they just turn and they come to a character, who's feeling some big montagey sentiment moment, and then they turn on a dime and go, no, I'm gonna go do this thing.
And then it turns dark, like.
And then it turns dark.
The creepy
and
music comes in, and he's like, "No, he didn't die. He was murdered."
Yeah.
And now I'm gonna go find John Locke, and it's like, they leave you with that instead of the like, oh man, Boone died. What a horrible tragedy.
Yeah, it's great. That's classic Lost.
It really is. It really is. I think I was right. Like, there's really no major, like, larger plot development in that episode.
No.
It's totally a character
stuff.
episode. Exactly.
Yeah.
But like a pretty good one. I mean, it's really high drama.
No, that was a great episode. Definitely high drama. Great, like, multiple, like, storylines at once. Really, showing the extent of what Jack's character can do, and having his whole, another classic Lost storytelling thing is, having the backstory, relate to what's going on presently,
right?
That kind of thing.
Right. Exactly. And I feel like, character stories work better when the stakes are high versus like, sometimes they would do those stories, I have in mind things like the tree frog or the ping pong tournament or something, and it's like, it's hard to get invested in that stuff, and it comes off feeling really pointless. And
But he might find that tree frog and do something very, there's nothing there.
Exactly. So I feel like, an episode like this shows, like, that's how you do, if you want us to invest in the characters, you have to give them something that seems like it matters, that we should care about.
Yeah.
And obviously, like, they can't do an episode like this every time, but I sort of like that they could have done a whole episode about Claire giving birth,
Yeah.
But I like that they actually wrapped it into a story that's actually not about Claire. It's more about Jack than her.
Yeah, it is, and I like that they split up the drama of putting Jack in a situation where he has two crises at once, and he has to delegate, basically.
Right. I guess that's the key thing. Like, if Jack hadn't been dealing with Boone, he would have been there when Claire was giving birth. He would have been there with Claire.
Yeah, he would have delivered his nephew.
Exactly. Oh God. When you put it that way, God. It's weird to know so much more than any of the characters do.
Yeah.
Or ever will, really.
Ever will. That's the show right there.
But yeah, I don't know. I think it's. I would say for season 1 Lost, like that's sort of where they were at their best.
That was a good episode. I think. I think that holds up pretty well. I mean, it's a seminal episode. It's Boone dying.
Yeah,
so I would hope that it would hold up, and I think it does.
Yeah, it definitely does.
It always helps to have Christian come in and give a couple of a good look, a couple of disapproving looks. It always helps.
Exactly. Yeah. To make it seem, I feel like one of the things about Christian, and this is partly due to the actor, is like because of whatever the magic is of what he does, it always seems like there's more going on with him than what he's saying.
It's one of the reasons I love actors, because the good ones, you can just put the camera on them and they don't have to say anything, they don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
They're just awesome being on screen, and he is definitely one of those, John Terry's definitely one of those actors who he just looks great, like, doing nothing. And then if you get him to do stuff, he's even better.
I know, exactly.
If you actually want him to act, it's actually really good.
Exactly, yeah, and he gets those scenes too. But I feel like it melded really nicely, or I don't know what the word is, but like the transition. I mean, having him seeming to have more going on in his head than he's letting on. It really just transitioned in a weird way into him appearing on the island and thinking.
Oh yeah. It's a total. It just fits thematically that in this time of crisis, whatever the crisis is, Christian is there.
Yeah.
You know, the image of whether it's Christian or it's somebody who looks like Christian. You know, I mean, you know, when it's on the island,
Right.
it's like it's still like it just fits for him to be around. And it in hindsight, it just, you know, knowing what we know about Men in Black and how Christian appears later, it just seems so. He just seems so ethereal when he just comes when Jack is at the pool, and you know, it's almost like, you know, Christian was always dead, and you know, all of these scenes is Jack imagining him, you know, and like that, you know, if we would have cut to a different camera angle, we would have saw Jack in the pool talking to himself.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah, it's like, did anyone else see Christian?
If you would have asked, you know, I feel like at the wedding, you know, people are like, man, it would have been nice if Christian was here, you know. But Jack imagines him in the audience.
Right,
you know?
right. Yeah, totally. Like he's you know, part of it is that he's playing such a like Jack-centric role. Like he shows up specifically for Jack's problem.
He's like a Jiminy Cricket, or he's there to guide the character and reflect back to them what their weaknesses are, you know.
Exactly. Like he's doing the things that made me think that Dave was in Hurley's head, you know, like when they're so focused on a character's like psychology and problems, it's like it's weird that you're not the same person.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know, it's weird that you're not inside their head, you know, but that's what makes Christian, you know, a good character. I mean, he's you know, he's got problems, and yet he is really strangely wise. Like he's totally dialed in, even though he's really hard on Jack.
Well, that's the thing. Like he's seen Jack do this a million times, you know.
Yeah.
So that's what is going on in his head. He's just like, yep, Jack can't let go. He's marrying this girl, and it's not going to work out.
Exactly, yeah, and he's totally right. And I feel like that's what made it seem like once he shows up in the island, it starts seeming like, oh, you know, now he's going to play that same role for Jack on the island. Yeah. You know, he's gonna sort of guide him through his problems there too. You know,
and that's, you know, that's why I'm assuming that's why Man in Black takes that form. It's the best person he can take to do that to Jack, you know.
Yeah, exactly. I still feel disappointed. I really wish we had gotten an actual scene between them. You know, I feel like that's sort of one of those lost scenes that, you know, should have happened but never did.
Yeah. I mean, the finale scene with them in the afterlife didn't cut it.
No. It's really it
Spoiler alert.
I mean, it fulfilled a certain aspect of what I wanted, but not everything.
Yeah.
I think I really wanted I really wanted a present day, real world, on island interaction between the two of them. Because the one time he sees him, you know, they don't talk at all. Like he just kind of walks away.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
You mean when he led him to the cave?
And I guess I always felt like they were teasing, you know, having him see him off the island. I felt like you know, having him say, "Tell my son I said hello," you know, walk passing that along. I always felt like they were, you know, it just seemed obvious they were leading up to some kind of scene between them, and that just never really quite pays off. I guess, you know, I mean, there's a lot of things in the show like that, but I feel like something like this, which is central for the main character.
That's probably the number one thing. I mean, you could argue, but that's probably number one thing to pay off is that conversation.
Yeah, and it just seems weird to let that go of all things.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I mean, a lot of decisions are made.
I almost wish, you know, something towards the end of season 6, you know, when Jacob is dying and all that weird, like, transition, you know, and Hurley's going to take over and they're trying to defeat Man in Black. I almost feel like Christian should have appeared, the real Christian should have appeared at that, like, you know, right when Jack is in the cave, light cave or something, and he's about to move the cork or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I almost feel like that's the place for Christian to come and go, you know, just not even, you know what, I would have not even want him to say anything, but just to know that, know that that's the real Christian. Yeah. And he, like, gives Jack a thumbs up when Jack is moving the cork. I mean, that would have been enough to be like, okay, we got it. This guy is
absolutely
of what Jack's doing. You know, and the scene, you know, a conversation scene would have been nice, but
Right.
at the very least, having Christian there at that moment, I think would have been well done.
Seemingly like the most important moment for Jack's whole life.
Exactly,
like,
the moment where he turns the corner and becomes whatever he's supposed to become.
Exactly.
And,
but
finally lets go or whatever.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. He, I don't know. He becomes a man of faith. He, he accepts that he can't fix everything, so now he can fix everything.
He tells himself what he can't do.
Yeah. Exactly.
Whatever phrase you want to use, he does.
But part of me feels like they fucked it up by making the Man in Black Christian.
Yeah.
I feel like that just kind of screws, it just kind of throws a nasty little pile of, I don't know what I want to say, on top of a scene like that, because now we know, and they've given us a whole scene about, the guy we've been seeing all along, it's actually evil incarnate. It makes it tricky now when you're seeing him in that context. Like, I kind of wish that either they had used a different character for. I mean, it worked. It was good, so I don't totally regret it. But I feel like it messed up the Jack Christian thing that they used him like that.
They could have done some sort of visual cue, right? Some the real Christian has a watch that Jack knows is very meaningful.
Yeah.
Some little detail that Men in Black didn't bother to replicate.
Right.
That Christian / the audience could pick up on and go, oh, okay, this is the if they wanted to really kind of have their cake and eat it too, they could have come up with some sort of visual cue or something.
Well, yeah, but I guess like Man in Black is dead by the time he's plugging the cord back in.
Yeah.
But again, I would start thinking, oh my God, is he back? And I hate, I feel like that would kind of ruin the moment a little bit to have that association, I kind of wish Christian had been something else. I know it doesn't really make sense that he's anything else, but I wanted to think that for a while because I guess I thought he was going to play into Jack's story more heavily than he did. It's weird that he on the island is more significant for Locke than he is for Jack.
Yeah.
Since Locke, as far as I can tell, I mean, up until he says, say hello to my son, Locke had no idea who that was that he was interacting with.
Yeah. Yeah, that would have been interesting.
Yeah, I know. It's, there's a lot of what could have been with Ross, but as you said, it's so central. It seems like maybe the biggest what could have been.
Yeah.
What
should have been.
Yeah, number 2 behind that is Locke getting his, final triumph.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that just barely sort of trails paying off.
Locke realizing either A, everything he did was worth it, or B, everything he did wasn't worth it. One of the two he should have realized.
At least something. At least have some kind of realization. It's way worse to have him die completely confused.
To literally die confused. To be like, I don't understand. I really don't know what I did. That's the worst.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. It's like he didn't even understand why Ben was killing him.
He couldn't even have gone out thinking, wow, Ben is killing me. I must be very important.
Yeah.
I must be so threatening to him. Whatever I know is so threatening. This guy, even if he could get some sort of satisfaction out of that little bit,
Yeah. Yeah. Or to even be insightful enough to know why Ben's really killing him, but it's like he bought Ben's talk-down speech completely. He thought.
I mean, that's got to be the best. That's probably the best murder in history, right?
Yeah.
To stop someone from killing themselves and talking them down for you to kill yourself. I mean, Jack the Ripper is brava.
I know.
That's very well done.
I know. It definitely makes Ben a more impressive character, but it makes Locke look even worse.
Oh, of course. And that was the worst part of Locke's death was that not only is he dying, but he's gonna kill himself. And not only is he about to kill himself, but Ben talked him out of it.
Yeah, he couldn't even get the dignity of killing himself.
He could, yeah. the subtle dignity of suicide, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like he couldn't even get that out.
He just had to be like brutally murdered and then, become
And that's the thing. A lot of times people, know why they're getting killed, and he didn't even know why.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. And they didn't have to tell us that, They have to, they put in that scene to tell us what his final thoughts are.
I'm telling you, it's. Go ahead.
And in a way, I appreciate it. Like, I like the fact that they even refer to him afterwards. But
yeah, right.
It is kind of character development to learn what he was thinking in that scene.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, it's like it's degrading him even more than they already have.
I mean, honestly, Lost is. You could almost describe Lost as a show that hates John Locke.
Yeah.
I mean, he's the Tara Thornton of the show.
Yeah,
he's the Tara on True Blood. I mean, he's the one who gets dumped on pretty much the entire show.
Yeah.
And he never really rises above the crap and gets killed in it. So.
Yeah, there's no like ultimate resolution where it's like all that suffering and all that misery. Now I at least have something to pay it off or to feel like it was worth it.
Yeah, I mean they couldn't even have connected. They couldn't even have said like, okay, well, it's good that Locke turned the wheel because that put him in Tunisia, and then Widmore found them, and Widmore ended up bringing Desmond because of that, and that saved everybody. I mean, they couldn't even really make that connection.
No,
because it's really Jacob's.
Exactly. Yeah, Locke had nothing to do with it, of course.
So I mean, it's like all of these plot points where they could have made Locke's cumulative actions really matter.
Yeah.
Even in these little instances, like really sort of be crucial. Like they never took the opportunity to do that.
Yeah.
It was never like, man, it's a good thing Locke got his kidney taken out because that saved his life at some point, like, or it's a good thing that, anything. Like they never really validated his choices.
Yeah. Actually, funny you mentioned that. They actually did do that. When Ben shoots him in the pit, that's how they explain that he survived.
That's right.
So they
all right, they did that one.
They got that far. But again, like all it comes down to is saving his own life. Like it's not a larger thing that happens.
Yeah, I mean, to make that really work, it would need to be fortuitous that it saves his life so he can go on to do something else that's crucial.
Exactly.
And that second part didn't happen.
Well, it only saves his life temporarily. It's like, Ben didn't murder you that time, but he's going to get you pretty soon.
He's going to get you next time, buddy.
He really will. Yeah, and it's, I don't know. I feel like that takes away from some of the impact of that idea that they wanted to get across. I would have liked that. I would have liked all that. Even his dad appearing, coming on the island, I would have liked that to, matter more somehow. But
he never really got to put that to rest. Like he had to make Sawyer do it.
I know. That's so his pattern. I mean, he never resolves anything. It's like I can't deal with my own problems. He has to.
I mean,
put him on Sawyer.
Man in Black was totally right about it. I mean, Man in Black was the smartest thing Man in Black ever did was to use Locke as his tool,
Yeah.
And it's just, we've said this a million times, but it's just weird to have a show where your character, one of your main characters is just literally not capable of character growth.
Right.
Like we're not going to show him, resolving his problems.
Right.
And most shows are about characters resolving their problems.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or at the very least, resolving some problems and getting new problems. Even if they're never perfect. They're never perfect, but
yeah, but at least like some of the core issues that matter to them eventually lead to some kind of resolution, and that that just didn't happen. And I feel like they also sent us mixed signals about him. Like I feel like they led us to believe that he would actually, overcome those things, and he would actually be a heroic character in the long run. Yeah. I think they, at least once they were getting to the point where they were planning out the whole Man in Black thing, I think they wanted us to think that, because it sells the, con even more, because we think, oh, he's so important, the island brought him back to life, That's amazing. Now, finally now, he will get, he will find that thing he's been looking for there, because the island has chosen him for real now, and it's like, no, not at all. Wrong. He's so dead, and the island could care less.
Yeah, I mean, that great little scene where Jack is fighting, Locke as Man in Black as Locke on the cliff in the finale, where he's like, "This is Rajan Locke." I mean, that's so great and so powerful, and it falls on deaf ears because Locke never knew that Jack finally believed in him after all that time. Like, he finally was convinced, and it's just, it's just a missed opportunity, like many.
Yeah. Totally. And I mean, they do have a lot of scenes together in the afterlife, but like it's during the time when they both had no idea what's going on.
The main problem with the afterlife in terms of reconciling the stuff we're talking about is they're all over it. They're done. It's the afterlife. The whole point is it's like a catch-22. If you're able to consciously bring it up, which is to say you remember your past life, by virtue of that, you're over your past life, because you can't wake up out of that purgatory until until you realize you're over whatever problem you're still like trying to work out. So it's just a weird thing where they can't have that bar scene that we all want, where all the Losties sit around and talk to each other. You did what while we were doing what? While I was trying to save Boone, you were delivering, a baby, and while all these like random things where they could just like hang out and talk and dish, about their island adventures. It just is never going to happen the way that they portray the show.
Right. By the time they have time to have a scene like that, no one cares anymore.
No one cares. By the time that there's all the time in the world, literally, because there is no time.
It's like a Twilight Zone episode. Like, time enough at last.
It's like the Twilight Zone episode, but time enough at last, but he doesn't care to read anymore.
Right.
He's like, all the time to read. I'm okay. I don't really feel like it anymore.
I've moved on from books.
I've moved on.
I have no need for literature anymore.
Exactly. Why was I into this in the first place? Who knows?
That would be a really bad episode.
Rod Sterling is like, yeah, I would have made different choices on Lost.
Of course he would have. Yeah. It's, man.
All right, well, thanks for tuning in, everyone. We'll be back next week with Born to Run, I believe it is.
No, I think it's...
I'm sorry, The Greater Good.
The Greater Good.
Yeah, 121, The Greater Good, Sayid-centric.
Yes. One more Sayid-centric episode.
One more.
For the season, I don't know.
So, yeah, good episode, do no harm. Looking forward to another a classic Sayid episode next, so that should be fun. Yes,
absolutely. Yeah, and again, it's all flowing pretty well. Like, we have a whole episode about the journey to the plane ending with Boone's injury. Then we have a whole episode about dealing with Boone's injury and then leading to Boone's death. And then we have a whole episode that is focused on what happens after Boone dies.
Yeah.
So
that's pretty good storytelling there.
Yeah, I think one of the things that has really stood out about season 1 particularly, not that they totally failed to do this later, but it definitely ties together very nicely the way large plot points like flow into each other in a way that actually feels natural, not like a ton of retconning.
Yeah.
I feel like they're at that stage in the show where they have a lot of freedom, right? They haven't established a lot of stuff.
Yeah, exactly. That's why you have to get the retcons, is when you've already established something you want to change. So yeah, they're in that free period where they're creating more than they're having to tie back to pre-established events.
Exactly, and so in a way, it makes for a more satisfying show. I wish the show could have, maintain that feeling. But I think it's literally impossible. I mean, once you have years and years of work to depend on.
Well, and that's the whole point of, a serialized show is to build on what you've already established. So it's by design, but of course you run into the problems of having to, of having that sort of organic, evolving story that
right.
That in hindsight you wish you could have changed things.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's a lot of things I want, but among the plethora of things I want, I'd like to know what Damon and Carlton would want season 1 to be, based on where they ended up. If they had it to do over again, like what would they take out, what would they change, etc.
Yeah.
I think an episode like this is pretty much fine. I feel like the main things they need to change are the things that are actually significant to the larger plot.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. Yeah, I'm not sure. I wonder what they would change in this. I feel like season 1 isn't that bad compared to where they end up. It's the middle seasons that really have the problems.
Yeah.
Because this is all basically set up. I wonder if there'd be better Christian-oriented stuff, or maybe more Christian, as Man in Black is Christian stuff in season 1.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like some of the smoke monster stuff should be a little different.
But they can't really throw in too much of that, right? I mean, because those are so. I mean, if Christian was around more in season 1, I mean, that's just so much time taken away from Jack doing other stuff.
That's true.
If he's really worried about that. And same with the smoke, like dealing with that huge issue more would have been tough when, you've got a baby to deliver, and you've got a raft to build, and so they do a good job about ramping up the drama, up until Exodus basically.
Yeah.
Which is pretty good, but
It is. You're right. It's just, I guess, yeah. I mean, probably they don't need to change it as much as other seasons.
I'm sure I'm sure they'd want to tweak something.
Yeah. And it is hard to watch something like the raft getting built, knowing what a complete disaster it is.
Yeah.
Like, literally, that's going to lead to, among other things, Michael's complete downfall.
Yeah, no, building that raft is the worst decision Michael ever made.
Yeah, and it sucks because there's no reason for him to think that.
No, he has no idea.
It's not like everyone's like, oh, once you build that raft, it's going to ruin your life,
Well, I mean, how would you know that, the one thing you're trying to do, which is to get your son off the island, is the one thing that's going to, cause him to be kidnapped in the short run.
Right.
Now in the long run, he does broker a deal and he gets him to safety, but, it's just ironic that puts him, the raft puts Walt in more danger.
Right, and it's at the price of murdering innocent people, and his guilt about that carries over to after he's dead.
He never gets over the guilt.
He still can't get over it.
And really, isn't this all his wife's fault or Walt's mom's fault?
Ultimately, I suppose it is.
Because all of that guilt over killing the people, all that stems from him not being around for Walt.
Yeah.
Him, and all that stuff. So
it's very true.
It's really kind of Susan's fault.
I have to agree ultimately, but Michael didn't see it that way.
I'm an independent woman, and I'm a lawyer, and I'm traveling around the world, and you're too much of a artist for me, and I just wanted your DNA, now I'm gonna leave you and condemn you to purgatory.
Mhm. Pretty much.
I hope that's cool.
Yeah.
Don't defriend me on Facebook, but I'm going to continue to a life of hell.
Yeah, being a whisperer sucks, man. That's not a job I'd want.
Whispering all the time.
Yeah.
Having to show up on demand, you're always on call.
Mhm. Yeah. Anytime anything's happening.
Anytime anything's happening in the woods, you got to go up and whisper.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe there's good benefits though.
I doubt it, but maybe.
Well, you don't think there's a very strong, robust whisper union that fights for the causes of the whisperer?
I doubt it, man. I feel like that's probably a completely deregulated industry.
Oh no!
Yeah.
We need to protect the rights of the whisperers, man. They're an underserved class of workers on the island.
It wouldn't be a Lost Lowdown if we didn't get a little politics in there.
What politics?
We just barely made it. God, man.
All right. Thanks and namaste.
All right. Namaste and good luck.